Am I audible, Rishikesh sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, nice. Meanwhile, we will test. Just
Sir.
ensure that you can see my screen after my sharing started. So can you see my screen, sir?
Yes, sir. Mahesh, sir. Good morning. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. So you can see my screen, right, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
I'm stopping and just give 1 or 2 minutes for students, and then we can start.
Good morning, sir. In fact, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Mahesh, sir, you can give us a signal when we can start.
Yeah, no problem, ma'am. We can start now. Yeah,
All right. Thank you,
no
sir.
problem.
All others can mute themselves. Komal, you can start.
Good afternoon to one and all. I, Ms. Komal Pavaskar, on behalf of CSI Student Committee, welcome you all to this webinar on cybersecurity space and security information and event management, organized by the Department of Computer Engineering at New Horizon Institute of Technology and Management in association with CSI Student Chapter. I would like to thank our trustee, Dr. Subir Kumar Banerjee, President, Mrs. Suvra Banerjee, Secretary, Dr. Rituparna Banerjee, Treasurer, Mrs. Gauri Bhattacharya, Managing Director, Project, Mr. Sudhir Kumar Banerjee, Managing Director IT, Mr. Srijit Bhattacharya, Managing Director Admin, Dr. Shravan Kumar Mukherjee, Executive Director, Dr. Dilip Borse, and Principal, Dr. Prashant Deshmukh, for giving us this opportunity to organize this event. We welcome our Dean Academics, Dr. Sunil Bogde, and Head of all the departments. I would also like to welcome the Head of Computer Engineering Department, Dr. Sanjay Sharma, and our CSI Student Branch Coordinator and Vice Principal, Professor Megha Gupta. I welcome all the faculty members and students of NHITM and also the spectators viewing the NHITM live stream. To begin with, I would like to call upon Mr. Karan Ovrekar to give a brief information about the Computer Society of India. Over to you, Karan.
Karan, you are not
Karan, your
audible.
mic is
And,
muted.
Karan, yeah, unmute please yourself.
Sorry, sir. The Computer Society of India is a non-profit professional meet where students exchange their views, information, learn and share ideas. The wide spectrum of members is committed to the advancement of theory and practice of computer engineering and technology systems, science and engineering. This student body performs and organizes workshops and seminars for students. The New Horizon Institute of Technology and Management inaugurated NHITM CSI Student Chapter on 24th October 2017. There are 65 active members in CSI today and 169 overall members. The objective of the CSI Student Chapter is to make students aware of the technical advancements happening around and be part of it. Moving further, I would like to hand over the section to Komal for a brief introduction of our keynote speaker. Over to you, Komal.
Thank you so much, Karan. Today, we are pleased to welcome our speaker of the day, Mr. Mahesh Pavaskar, Principal IT Security Architect at Cleared Europe Services in Belgium. He was awarded as Best Outgoing Student in BTech and Student of the Year in MTech at VGTI Mumbai. He has received 14 certifications like Red Hat Certified System Administrator, Red Hat Certified Engineer, CCNA, etc. In total, he has 11 years of experience, out of which 4.5 years is teaching and 6.5 years is industry experience. He has strong knowledge on security, use case development, Java, Python, Linux, network, and SIEM domain, and the list goes on. Mahesh, sir, we welcome you to enlighten us. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Komal, for nice introduction. So, and thank you, sir, for inviting me for this webinar. So, yeah, without wasting time, I will start my session. So, I'm sharing my screen. Just confirm if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, nice. So yeah, we will today. I'm going to talk about cybersecurity, different roles, what are the skill set required, how you can prepare for that during your curriculum, like when you are in second year or third year or BTech, doesn't matter. But at least you need to have some solid plan to achieve your goal if you want to work in cybersecurity world. Again, you will get so many good lectures online also. But yeah, my goal for this whole 1.5 hour is at least I can give you better understanding and how you can approach, because mindset, if you develop your mindset, then definitely nobody can stop you achieving your goal. So my goal for this session is to at least build your uh, right mindset towards cybersecurity space. And second point, I will talk about SIEM, that is SIEM. And why I focus this one, because almost 6 years I work in SIEM domain and still counting. So that's why I'm guiding them, because I'm expert in that area, I believe. So yeah, I'm guiding accordingly. So yeah, already Komal introduced me, so I will not waste time on this. So yeah, if you talk about my experience, past experience, currently I'm working with Verizon. So it's the biggest telecom operator in the world, second largest. So first is AT&T, and then second is Verizon. Before that, I worked with Euroclear Bank as a security architect. So it's a big financial bank, I think child of Morgan. And yeah, so these are my some. And initially, I work as a professor. If you can see, MIT College, Pune, MMIT. So I believe I can make some justice while presentation, because I have some teaching background experience. So without wasting time, start with the what we need to have, at least if you want to start your career in cybersecurity. The first one is I will talk about Linux. And we need not to invest separate time on Linux, because currently each and every subject is using hands-on practicals using Linux environment. So at least you are aware with the different commands, syntax, and you are aware with the Linux environment, how to install and how to work with that. The next one is networking. So when I talk about networking, people think about, oh, I should be expert in network. I'm not expecting you should be expert in network, but at least you should differentiate what is public IP, private IP, what is classless, classful, then what is mean by LAN, WAN, MAN, and how we can segregate the network by using VLANs. Then if you talk about IP addresses communication, then you need to understand how network protocol works, like TCP, UDP. So when I think about networking, you should not be expert in network, but at least you should know about TCP IP protocol suite. So that's you need to know about networking. When we talk about database, definitely there are two types of database. I'm focusing on relational, but yeah, nowadays NoSQL databases are popularly used. So focus on both. Again, that's not big difference. Only the difference is schema less and schema based. So relational databases are schema based, and we are using DDL, DML, and DCL commands. So please focus on that. Try to clear your concept. Try to understand uh, each concept and where we can utilize in the real world. The next one is regular expression. It's not needed, but if you work in cybersecurity, at least you should know what kind of regular expression I can make to parse a particular field from raw logs. When I say raw logs means consider I try to log in to my Windows system, and there are two types of events maybe occur. If I type wrong password, it will be login failure. And if I input my correct credentials, definitely I will login successful. So there are two possibilities: login successful or login failure. But when I talk about raw logs basically track the activity. So this activity, successful login or failure login, or sorry, failure, it will track or it will be traced by the log. And from that log, we need to identify important normalized fields like which is the username. So what is the username? Mahesh is the username. What is the IP of Mahesh system? What is the host name? At what time Mahesh tried to log in? At 1 p.m. Oh, why he is trying 1 p.m.? 1 p.m. It's normal business hours, fine. But if Mahesh is trying to log in at 3 a.m., something is suspicious like that. So regular expression is basically chop your chop or cut your raw log into the normalized pieces like source ip, destination ip, host name, username, timestamp, message id, like that. So this I can say you should aware with the regular expressions little bit. Important devices. Again, this is if you want, if you are looking for security world, definitely you should aware with the different security devices and day-to-day life, whatever you are using, like Linux boxes or Windows boxes. So you should know about how log look like. Then you should know about the firewall, proxies, routers, email gateway appliances, and so on. So, and if you want to look into the logs and these, definitely on Google, sample logs are available. If you could not find, just let me know. The next last one is scripting. So doesn't matter you are not good programmer or something. Don't tell me like you are not a good programmer. You are engineer. You are entering engineer. Definitely your logic is better than anybody else. So don't explain like, oh, I don't like coding, I don't want to be a developer. Definitely I agree you don't like coding, but fine, but at least you should know the logic. You should know how to write some small scripts, and you should know how you can write some small scripts or something. But yeah, logic is important. So for logic, data structure, I will prefer you should know good and depth knowledge in data structure. Okay, so next one is what is cybersecurity. You will get definition. Cybersecurity is basically protecting your resources. So when I say resources, that means protected your laptop, your firewall, IDS, IPS, whatever in organization assets. Protecting your assets from two different kinds of people. The first is external attackers. And I can say this is common thing, external attackers. It's easy to find because we are making good boundaries to identify the external attackers. But second attacker type is insider threats, maybe disgruntled employee, and that's very difficult to identify. So second kind of thing, insider attackers are difficult to identify. But yeah, we will learn how to do that. So cybersecurity is not protecting from outside world, protecting from insider threats also. So this is cybersecurity, and no need to explain why. Everybody is going from on-premise to cloud. Everybody is scaling their infrastructure, and if they want to be a leader in the market, definitely they should be have some good tools in cybersecurity. Otherwise, if they lost their reputation, they will lose their business. And simple. So yeah, these some pictures. I think you are aware with this kind of thing. Like this is first picture is like phishing attack. Somebody tried to phish you as a pretend you as, oh, I'm from SBI, like that, and you click on that and you basically download something, or maybe you forward something your information. Phishing. Then second, I can say somebody tried to look into your laptop, maybe man-in-the-middle attack, or maybe shoulder surfing. So man-in-the-middle attack, everybody knows. Somebody tried to interpret your communication and try to uh, you know be pretend as you, so modify the communication, and he will act as a you. So basically, man-in-the-middle attack. Another thing is shoulder surfing. Can be takes place, but you never know. So be cautious about that. The next one is grabbing some sensitive data. If I'm working with some company, I want to steal some data. The simplest method is I can upload on my email address, or I can insert pen drive. If there is no security policy for pen drives, I can basically copy data into USB sticks. That's a very simple method. So next one is firewall bypassing. So how we can bypass the firewall. That is, I can say, tricks for attackers used by the attackers. Next one is credit card information stolen. This is the biggest threat. So I always prefer or always recommend, don't store your credentials anywhere. Anywhere means anywhere. So whenever you're doing e-commerce purchase or something, don't store your credentials. Maybe it will take time next time, but yeah, it's fine. You can put your credentials and you are safe. So when I talk about different cyber attack techniques and types, so then sometimes people are asking me how I can identify the different attack types, because people are knows when whatever I'm showing you, these are the popular attacks. No need to explain what is software vulnerabilities or stolen credentials or DDoS attack, malware attack, phishing attack. These are the common and I can say well-known attacks. But when I ask, do you know apart from these? Definitely, sometimes we don't know because we never came across. So for that, I will recommend. This is yeah. I will recommend. Please refer these attack frameworks. No need to write something. If you feel there is a, I'm explaining something good, then note down. No doubt. But yeah, I'm going to share these slides with you guys. So yeah, please concentrate and yeah, try to digest what I'm explaining. So attack frameworks. So what are the attack frameworks? We're having MITRE attack framework, MITRE CAPEC, NIST or OWASP. So I will explain first one. You can identify so what is the second, third, and fourth one. So MITRE attack framework. So let's see. Mm, Can you see my screen? Like MITRE framework screen, Rishi sir?
Yes, sir, we can see, sir.
Okay. So I'm going to explain attack frameworks because these attack frameworks can guide you to what kind of different techniques used by uh, attackers. So when I talk about techniques, I think popular technique, guys, brute force attack. I don't know your password and I want to hack your laptop or I want to access your data. Simply what I will do, I will try to enter guessful password. Like if your name is something Ramesh, then I will try Ramesh at the rate 123 or Ramesh underscore 123 or Ramesh or password at the rate 123 or password like that. So basically, I will try simple passwords. So and that I can say I'm trying and maybe I will succeed or it depends on the how password is set. So when I talk about MITRE attack framework, there are different tactics. So tactics like initial access, persistence, defense evasion, discovery, credential access, collection, different tactics. So different tactics are there. And if you see under each tactic, there is a techniques. So, so if you start learning one technique, maybe it will take 1 day, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month. It depends how you are familiar with the techniques. So simple. I will explain one of them is brute force. I already explained. So brute force is what? Brute force. Can you mute, guys, please? So what is a brute force? So brute force is a
Sorry for that, sir. Ankita, please turn off your video. Mute yourself. Ankita.
mute and please, yeah, turn off your video, please. Okay, thanks. Okay, so yeah, so when I talk about brute force, this is a credential access tactic. So brute force is a technique, and what is intention behind brute force, credential access. When I talk about the man-in-the-middle attack, definitely credential access. There are different techniques are there. So maybe I'm not familiar with each and everything, but at least you should know which technique comes under which tactic. Uh, Consider, your different attacks patterns and everything, but from where to start or how I can defense, because uh, s- there is, maximum jobs are available for defense, or I can say detect and defense your infrastructure, and there are also jobs are available for ethical hackers, or I can say penetration testers who can test your security. But I will talk about that, the job roles afterwards. But how to learn attack defense mechanisms. So the first thing, if you want to defense or you want to prevent attacks, definitely start with simulate the attacks. Then if you try to simulate the attacks, I will give you example, same brute force. I will give simple example, not like difficult example. So if you want to simulate, what you need to do, you need to do, you just type a different password multiple times. That is, I can say, simulation of the attack. Or you can use tool that will perform brute force attack or dictionary attack for you. Both are different, but the patterns are same. Trying just try to access your credentials. So the first thing is simulation of the attack. If you can make it, then second step is trace the attack. How to trace the attack? Trace means from where I can get the information that somebody is trying to access my account. Then I can identify that kind of activity in logs. So when I say trace the attack, it means we need to dig deeper into the logs. Then next one is impact study. Why impact study is important? Because you never know how many attacks takes place in a single day. And if you cannot differentiate what is the impact factors for different attacks, then maybe you are not a good security engineer. So impact study means what? If there is a phishing attack takes place, if there is a DDoS attack takes place, if there is a brute force attack takes place, which attack you need to prevent first, or you need to take action for that particular attack. So how to prioritize that one? So if you know the impact, then you can easily prioritize. Okay, this is a DDoS attack. Definitely, I need to look into. Otherwise, it will hamper my network. Yeah, brute force is a secondary one for me now because DDoS is a priority one. Like that. So you can prioritize accordingly. So impact study is important. Impact study means how, if that attack takes place, what kind of systems may be affected, what is the loss to the organization, and what is the service disruption. So that is impact study you need to do. Then how to detect it. So you know the logs patterns and how to detect it. Simply, I will recommend write some rules to identify such kind of patterns. So how to detect it. So basically, I will how to detect. I will cover in next part, that is SIEM, and how to prevent it. That if you detect it, then it's easy to prevent it. So detection is very important. Prevention, we can do it rule based or maybe behavior based. I will explain it afterwards. So yeah, so these are some steps, and this is again, this is my theory, this is my practice. If you want different or want to add some more steps, please feel free to add and just create your own steps. uh, when I talk about security principles, everybody talking about, and I know when we write some networking examination or maybe theory examination, we are using these three keywords, maybe for right keywords, or maybe these are the keywords are mostly used while writing any answer. So confidentiality, everybody knows how you can protect your data. um, so for confidentiality, we can use the encryption algorithms, or you can use site to site VPN, or you can use any secure method to transfer your data. Confidentiality. Integrity integrity slightly different. So integrity means what? Your data should not be tampered. And if it's tamper, I should get to know. So for integrity, we are using digital signatures, and yeah, to remain data integrity. So if I'm sending a character, then receiver should get a character only, not something else. So that is integrity. Availability. Availability, everybody knows service should be available, and to identify to achieve that one, we are using uh, HA, or we are using disaster recovery centers. Uh, so this is availability of service. You can make it. So this is onion architecture, or I can say defense in depth strategies. So if you want to learn something, at least you should know these 7 layers. I'm not diving deep into this, but at least I will focus on what is the different layers. So if you see at the topmost layer, that is outermost, I can say, outermost layer is a policies, procedures, and awareness. So each and every organization should have some policies, and we should respect it. Normally, we don't like restrictions, but yeah, if are you want some security of your organization and yours also, definitely procedures and policies are very important. Like, your um, iCard is very important while entering your company. Then you should be have biometric to enter your company premises, or maybe uh, you know um, you should, if you having your vehicle sticker, then and then your vehicle can enter in premises, like that. So I'm talking about just normal policies and procedures. So another policies and procedures, I can say, when somebody is coming for an interview, then we should note down his name and mobile number, everything, to keep a track, like that. The next one is physical security. So physical security is just like we are using CCTV cameras, locks, and everything. I will not focus on physical security, but it's very important. Next one is perimeter. Perimeter security is just like your organization's security. Just like you can protect how you can protect your organization from outsider, attackers. So we are using firewalls, IDS, IPS, and consider attackers enter from firewall inside your network. Then we need to prevent that using segmentation. So we need to segment financial department separately, engineering department separately, HR department separately. So if you segment your departments, that would be great for security perimeter. So perimeter security is very important. The next one is internal network. So I will not talk about network. So because yeah, if you want security of internet network, definitely you should use a best routing protocols and quality of service filters. Host security. So host security, that means your laptops, is very important, because if I compromise your laptop, I can do whatever I want. So that's why it's very important, and every organization is spending lots of money for host security. Like they are installing antiviruses, they are installing EDR. EDR stands for endpoint detections and response solutions. So, and why they are worrying for your laptop security? Because you are part of organization and you are internal employee. So if your laptop got hacked, attacker can easily can gain the access to the internal network. So that's why it's very important. The next one is application security. So if you hosted some application, please aware, if you develop your application code in JSP or maybe JavaScript, definitely you need to test your code properly. So that code should not give some backdoor for attacker. So that is about the code, application security. Okay, code, if there is some drawbacks in code or like that, or maybe sometimes developers write comments, and in comments they are putting some credentials by mistake. So that is harmful. The next one is broken software. Broken software means what? Consider you deployed your code on Tomcat, and Tomcat got come from, basically Tomcat has some vulnerabilities. This that is called as broken software. So if your code is secure, but your code deployed on Tomcat and Tomcat is having some vulnerabilities, it's very difficult. So this term is called as broken software. So broken software is also harmful. So that's why instead of only concentrating on coding and everything or code security. You should work. You need to understand where we are hosting your code. You are hosting your code on Tomcat, so you need to understand whether Tomcat is secure. If it is an older version, just upgrade to the newer version, because upgrading your software is, I can say, the best way to prevent attacks also. So broken software is a very dangerous. Next one is data security. And data security, if you see the diagram, it is innermost layer. It is very important, data security, because data is everything. So if somebody try to attack like ransomware, ransom is what? Ransom is an attack which is meant for gain some money. And I want some money. So what I will do? I will attack. I will encrypt all sensitive files like Excel, doc files, PDF file. I will encrypt everything. And I will encrypt .java, .py, everything. So if your code is, you cannot open anything, then definitely what's the option? Definitely you need to pay to an attacker. That is ransom, right? So that's why data security is very important. This is one kind of malware, that is ransom. Okay, so there is a ransomware attack, there is a different attacks, but yeah, ransom is a popular one, so that's why I referred. So you need to understand how I can secure my data. Can I use encryption? So if my laptop got stolen, nobody can nobody can encrypt my data without password. That is, I can encrypt my hard disk. So even if my laptop got stolen and somebody tried to use my hard disk, they cannot decrypt data without password. So that is encryption at hard disk level. Next one is backup. Consider you are taking backup weekly basis. I'm not taking all backups of all data, like video series of a particular technology or something. I'm just taking backup of my regular code or regular some important documents of clients. So that backup is important, because if your machine got compromised, definitely we can retrieve from backup. And there is a we can lose some data, but I can say that is acceptable. 1 week or 1 day, it depends on your needs. And monitoring is very important. I will explain how to monitor it. So I think I already covered this one. So to become a good attacker, or sorry, so become a good defender, so become first hacker or attacker. So if you know how to perform attacks, then definitely you can easily protect your organization. So I will focus on these points. How to perform attack or simulate attack, I already explained. Then trace bad activities. So if you see my third point, trace bad activity. So sometimes people are confused between what is mean by bad activity and how I can identify. And as a normal engineer, we cannot differentiate between whitelist actions and blacklist actions. Blacklist means bad activity. So for this, I will recommend you, if you don't know about that device, like firewall, then please contact firewall administrator and please ask him, can you explain what is mean by good activities and bad activities? And according to you, what is bad activity? So after that, you can understand, okay, this is a kind of bad activity or bad behavior. So sometimes communication, or when you talk with the experts, you got the correct or right direction. So these are the different job titles. Read about afterwards, guys. What are the different titles in the security market? Different certifications available. Like everybody is maybe going for CEH, then CCNA. I will recommend go for either or CEH or CompTIA Security Plus, or CCNA or CompTIA Network Plus, and so on. So don't go for all certifications. Identify your area of interest and accordingly plan your certifications. And if you want personal guidance on track, definitely I will guide you separately, but these are some certifications. Okay. Then next one is what is SIEM? Because I little bit talked about cybersecurity and different attacks, but in cybersecurity world, each organization having SIEM. So what is SIEM? A SIEM is a security, information, or incident management or event management system. So when I say information or incident, so what is mean by? Because in SIEM, I use for information, I use for incident. So I for information in terms of good activities, I for incident in kinds of bad activities. Example, consider I try to log in to my account, three times failure, then four times login successful, fine. This is information. Mahesh tried to log in and three times failure, four times successful, fine. But consider I try to log into another user machine, maybe another user account from my laptop, and that I can see incident because I'm trying to access another account, and that in that case, that information convert into the incident because we correlate and we identify, okay, this is a bad activity, and when information gather, we correlate and we define, okay, this is a maybe bad activity, and that bad activity is called as incident. So different market players in SIEM tool, like IBM QRadar, Oxide, Logarithm, Splunk. Why I'm telling you these products, guys? Because you know about Linux, networking, everything, but when you passed out from your college, nobody knows about what are the different tools available in the market. So that's why I'm explaining you. And if you want to know about different SIM tools, then uh, you can go to the Gartner magazine. So you can see this Gartner spelling. Gartner magazine. So Gartner is a organization which is basically comparing different SIM solutions on different factors, like what is the capability to prevent the attack or detect the attack, whether we can identify the user behaviors like that. So different factors involved, and accordingly it will rate point wise, and it will calculate the score and it will put in the leaders. So if you see, this is the leaders, niche players, then these are the visionary players, lock point, like that, and challenges. So this is a quadrant, so this is a leader quadrant. So I recommend, if you want to start your career or in SIEM, please work on your SIEM knowledge, that is domain knowledge. And if you can concentrate on any other tool like IBM QRadar. And sometimes people will ask me, if I want to start with some my study in background for SIM, whether it is available. So I will guide you from IBM point of view, IBM QRadar Community Edition. Note down this one, guys. Maybe this is not mentioned in PPTs. So if you Google it, IBM QRadar Community Edition, and this is freely available for developers, for researchers. You can download OVA file. This is a virtual file, virtual machine file. You need to download this file. It's near about 3 gig. Download that, and you need to import that one. So what you need to do, maybe I will show you. You need to download it, just provide the credentials and everything, and open your virtual box. Bear with me. My desktop is always like this. Okay. Okay. So if you see here my virtual box, go to the file and import uplines. Import uplines, and you need to pass this downloaded OVA file. So maybe on D drive, QRadar. And if you see here, community edition OVA file, it's 4 point something. 4 gig, not 3 gig. 4 gig, you can select it, open it, and next. So if you want to know how to install it, just Google how to install QRadar. There is my video on YouTube, so you can do that. So yes, you can start your learning from now, and in one of the same product, one of the leader in the market, that is IBM QRadar. You can see, and another thing. But here is a drawback. If you go with IBM QRadar, you can learn so many things, but you cannot modify something. So if you want to modify something, then I will recommend another tool, another SIEM product called as OSIM. Can you see my screen, Rushi sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because yeah, nobody responding. So yeah, sorry. There is a Alien Volt company, Alien Volt having two products. USM, that is a, you can see here, USM is a proprietary paid version, and OSIM is open source. So you can go to OSIM and you can download OSIM ISO, Alien Volt OSIM ISO, and you can download. You can modify code. You do whatever you want to do. So there are two products. So, but you can see in my slides, note down this OSIM and QRadar community edition. So if you go to my slides, there is a no price. I think where is USM Alien Volt? There is Alien Volt. No, I don't know where is he. Maybe he is in niche play. I don't know, but yeah, we don't see Alien Volt over here. But yeah, you can at least you want to if you want to do BE project in SIM domain, then IBM QRadar just for learning. But if you want to do some project, you want to do something, then I will recommend OSIM. It's the right tool for you. And the next one is then sometimes students are asking me, sir, why SIM is required? Because we have firewall, we have IDS, we have IPS, EDR, antiviruses, authentication servers, cloud endpoint security solutions. Why we need separate SIM? The simplest answer is consider. I will relate with the real life example. Some crime is happened, then that person we cannot easily dictate as a declare as he's a criminal. So we need to identify. We need to collect evidences. We need to collect evidence from maybe fingerprints, maybe some phone calls, WhatsApp messages, email communications, um, maybe a CCTV footage from his outside from his home, like that. So basically, to prove he is a criminal, we need to gather evidences or proofs. Okay. Same thing. If some attack takes place, we cannot identify this is attack from a single point of view, from single logs. So if I get something, you know, somebody trying to enter from firewall, okay, he entered already, but I cannot uh, identify this is attack or not. If third party vendor like my company is considered as a Verizon, and I'm having type with Infosys, so somebody from Infosys enter in my network, that's fine. But after that, he tried to do some bad activities. Then I will not get such kind of bad activities from firewall. From firewall, I will get only he enter in the network from this IP like that. But to identify his activity, I need to gather logs from different servers. So from simple answer, why SIM? We cannot identify or we cannot correlate attack from a single data source, from single data source logs. So we need logs from different sources to prove this is the attack. And it is a complex attacks only. For simple attacks, we can rely on a single data source. But yes, uh, that's why the correlation of that particular activities seems important. Then, what SIM does? So simple. The first point A, if you can write down, collect logs. No need to write everything, but yeah, A point because I'm going to refer A, B, C, D next slides. The first point is collect logs. So logs are very important. We need to gather logs from different devices like firewall, IDS, IPS, Active Directories, antiviruses, wireless controllers, like that. Second thing is logging and reporting. So we are collecting logs, but then we need to gather logs at centralized place. That is SIEM. So logging and reporting. Third C point, correlation. How we can perform correlation. Correlation means what? Gather the logs and identify some attack patterns by using some correlation. I will give you example what correlation is in next slide. But yeah, correlation is simple words. A correlation is nothing but um, identify some meaningful information by stating some facts. Like example, if multiple IPs from outside world is trying to access only one IP address from your organization or trying to reach to one IP addresses, it may be suspicious. So we need to correlate. Oh, these are the different IP, thousands of IPs trying to communicate with a single IP. Is it normal behavior? No. Then definitely that correlation turns into the step number D, at alert, real time alert generation. And that real time alert is called as incident, or I can say offense. So let's talk with the example. Mm, yeah. I will give you example. How much time left? Yeah, we are having 40 minutes. Yeah, nice. So use case. So first use case I'm going to explain you, data exfiltration. For second year students, try to correlate guys, because third year and BE students can easily understood. But yeah, nowadays people knows the technology. So I'm going to explain you in very layman terms. So you guys, you can understood properly. So data exfiltration. So use case is a exfiltration. Exfiltration means what? Try to steal some sensitive information. So example of use case is a employee try to send some confidential or sensitive information to personal email address. So basically, you cannot send sensitive information to your personal email address like gmail.com. You cannot. So if somebody does that, whether it's offense, whether it's incident, it varies from case to case. So we need to identify, we need to track user behavior or employer behavior by identifying employees are sending emails to whom. So in this case, I will refer my what SIEM does. The first step I explain, collect logs. So when I say collect logs, you can see here we can collect logs from data source called as secure email gateway. So we are getting logs from Cisco email gateway apply. Example, there is one vendor, Cisco. So Cisco email gateway, you can use another vendor. But yeah, the main thing is what? To track such kind of behavior, which data source is important. Because how I can identify Mahesh sent from Verizon.com to gmail.com. So we need logs. So for this, we need logs from secure email gateway appliance. Example, Cisco email gateway. So now we identify data source. What are the next steps? We need to push this security email gateway appliance logs towards log collector. In our case, we consider log collector as a QRadar. So we are collecting logs towards QRadar, okay? So logs are collected by QRadar. Next, we need to do some correlation. But to talk about correlation or cross correlation, we need to identify what are the different factors. So in this case, the factors are if email. So give me example. My email address is Mahesh dot something Pavaskar at the rate gmail.com. And Verizon.com is different. Uh, Mahesh dot something at Verizon.com. Or so basically in email addresses, always there is a domain name like Verizon.com or Gmail.com. These are the domain names. So this is one factor. If there is a mail from Verizon.com to Gmail.com, that is a first indication of bad activity. Next, when I activate that rule, I got so many false positive offenses. False positive means what? Unnecessary complaints. So in simple terms, because sometimes false positive is a technical word. Okay, so false positive means unnecessary complaints. So consider Mahesh is sending a monthly timesheet. Timesheet is like basically I'm filling my timesheet. I'm sending to my personal email address to keep a track. In this month, how many hours I worked, because we are charging on hour basis. So how many hours I worked. So I'm going to track my monthly working hours. But that will create offense because we are checking Verizon.com to gmail.com. It's not good case because this is generating unnecessary complaints or false positive offenses. So we can add some more factors to reduce unnecessary complaints. We can add size of document. So what I will do, I will check if mail is going from Verizon.com to gmail.com and attachment size of the mail is more than 10 MB, then trigger an offense or incident. And when offense is triggered, the next or last step, investigation of offense. So let's see how we can investigate the offense. So consider Mahesh Pavaskar sent some data to his personal email address more than 10 MB. Then this will create offense or incident, and we need to investigate. We need to means SOC analyst will investigate. So what he will investigate? He will investigate what is the source email address and what is the destination email address. Then he will identify, okay, Mahesh dot something at Verizon.com is Mahesh Pavaskar. So second step, identify associated user. Then third step, if you identify there is sensitive files, don't contact user. Let them let user be in dark. So directly contact manager. So it vary from case to case. Contact user and contact manager. It depends on SOC analyst. SOC analyst will decide whom to contact, Mahesh or his manager. Then next, investigate the contents. What Mahesh sent to his personal email address. So investigate the contents like that. So this is investigation process, and this is also called as this investigation steps also called as in technical term called as playbooks. These are the new terms guys for you, but yeah, I'm not trying to bombard you with the technical terms. This is called as playbooks, and each and every steps is called as PT number 1, PT is playbook task, PT2 playbook task number 2, then PT3. Basically these are the terminologies guys, technical terminologies you need to understand, and you can learn when you join industry, but at least if you know this right now, it's well and good. So what is playbook? So playbook is the guideline for SOC analyst how you can investigate offense, and playbook contains playbook task. Simple definition. Next use case, suspicious activity. So to identify brute force attack, consider suspicious activity. I need to track account fail login. So there is event ID 4625. Just Google it or just click on this link afterwards. So if user is trying to log in, but that login is not successful because you are putting wrong credentials, then 4625. So guys, if you want to see the events in Windows, just go to the event. Go to the Windows logs, security logs. So in XML, so you can audit success, failure. Okay. So I'm going to open this one. What is event ID over here? 4656. Okay. So see here, audit failure. Audit failure, event ID is 4656. Okay. Then next, details. Go to details. This is Microsoft event. Task is this. I will explain what task is. Then user name from laptop is done. From desktop, this one's domain name. Server type is okay. Security type, object type process, and the process name is WMI. So this we need to identify. Okay, what the process is used for. WMI. This is a system OS process, so no need to worry about it. So you need to identify, guys. So this is the log. Okay, so this is XML logs. So you can see different kinds of logs. Yeah, back to the point. So if we are getting 4625 or another event ID like this, an account, this is a I shown you audit failure. This is a account login failure. Okay, 4625. So if you identify this multiple times, more than 10 times within 5 minutes, trigger an offense. And after triggering offense, you should investigate the offense. And how to investigate offense? Steps should not be same like a previous playbook. In this case, steps are maybe different. Like identify from which source IP this attack is takes place. So identify the source IP. Then identify whether that source IP belongs to organization. So step by step. So this is kind of playbook task. So you can identify that one, and you can identify which who is who is trying to attempt a brute force attack. Next example. Maybe I will go through these examples afterwards because there are so many examples, and I will try to cover some job roles first, and then we will directly move to the use cases again. So I will just keep it, and I will come back to these points again, guys, because I want to cover this as a primary basis. So we're having 30 minutes left, so I'm just concentrating on my time. So in SIEM, there are three kinds of role. There are different roles, but these are the primary roles. The first role, SOC analyst. SOC, when I SOC is a security operation center. Okay, SOC. So the first role is a most popular role and demanding role. If you Google it afterwards, you can identify so many companies are looking for cybersecurity analyst or SOC analyst. So if you want to enter in cybersecurity field, the best and simplest way to enter in cybersecurity field is analyst role. And then you can move from analyst to admin to architect. Guys, it depends on you, how you are learning, how you are learning more things on daily basis. So I will explain what is the each role what is the job duties, and then I will explain what are the different skill sets required in next slides. So when I say SOC analyst, primary goal of SOC analyst is investigate offense. So consider, I given one example, data exfiltration using email or brute force attack. So whatever incident, whatever bad activities takes place in your organization, those are investigated by SOC analyst. So SOC analyst, if you see the job roles, the second mention is investigate offense. That is the primary job, investigate offense. Then create playbook. Playbook, I think already explained. What is playbook? Playbook is nothing but steps to investigate offense. And sometimes SOC analysts are creating playbooks, or they are just updating the playbooks because attack patterns are changing. So we need to upgrade the playbooks. So creating playbooks is the job of analyst also. And for that one, admin will guide to SOC analyst how to create playbook task. So admin is a senior person, or I can say person who can guide analysts very well. Generate offense, and SOC analysts need not worry about generate offense, because if offenses are coming, just investigate. But since in rare cases, we need to escalate that offense to a right team, like something, firewall down. What you can do if firewall is down? You cannot do anything, right? Because firewall is down. You are not firewall administrator. So you need to create offense that firewall is down, and you need to assign to the firewall administrator team. So this is called a generate offense. So SOC analysts sometimes do that job also, because they know, oh, this firewall is not showing some traffic. So this is firewall is down, like that. Next one is request to tune rule. What is tune? I explained with example. What is tuning? Tuning is what? Enhancement. So I will give you an example. In previous example, I given you, if there is a mail from Verizon.com to gmail.com, create offense, but it triggers unnecessary complaints or false positive offenses. So I added one more condition: if size of documents or attachments is more than 10 MB. So this is kind of tuning. Tuning is just like a recommendation. So I can, if I am a SOC analyst, I can provide some guidance, suggestions to SOC admin. Guys, please modify your rules. So, and admin can, modify the rule, like that. And last point is daily SOC job. What is daily SOC job? Maybe I will elaborate. SOC daily SOC job means investigate, identify them log patterns, identify, watch spikes in logs, then create some reports for manager, like number of login failure this month for a particular device, like that. So basically generating reports for SOC manager. So this is called as daily SOC jobs or SOC tasks. Next, admin role. I will explain in very short, because we need to cover afterwards. So SOC admin is a person who is writing, who is doing step number third. Step number third is what? Correlation and cross correlation. So SOC admin is writing some rules, creating use cases, creating rules. Use cases is a broad term, or I can say use case is like suspicious activity. But what is a rule, or what is a actually what happened actually under that suspicious activity? Laptop got stolen, and that stolen laptop, wants to connect your company network. That's, I can say, actual activity, right? So for that, I need to write rule under that suspicious activity use case. Then onboard log source. Onboarding is nothing but collecting logs from different data sources. So onboarding logs towards QRadar or towards any SIEM solution like ArcSight or QRadar or OSIM, like that. It's job of admin. Next, creating user, managing accounts, applications. It's a job of SOC admin. Next, engineer. SOC engineer is the designation who is responsible for designing architectures. So if you want to deploy some, environment or something, SOC engineer will, design architecture, and he will implement that particular architecture in real life. So basically designing architecture, deploying, managing that one, scale up infrastructure, health monitoring of the appliances, everything is done by the SOC architect or security engineer, I can say. But don't confuse, guys, because most of the companies mixing these two roles, admin and architect. So in some job roles or job descriptions, you will get these whatever job duties for admin and engineers are combined. So it depends on organization. Okay. So these are the three main roles in cybersecurity. Sorry, in SIEM world. Next, I will explain with the role. So security analyst, L1. So L1 is like there are SOC analyst or security analyst. There are level 1, level 2, level 3. I will explain level 1 and you can read out what is level 2 and level 3. Okay. So level 1 is a fresher who knows about security. He's starting his job. So job description I already explained. Incident investigation, a request to tune the rule, write incident summary, like that. So skill set required for security analyst, Linux networking background, and certification is added value for this. But yeah, domain knowledge is very important for security analyst. L2, L3, just senior for those positions. So just read afterwards. Then SOC admin, I explained already what is SOC admin, SOC or SIEM admin. SIEM admin is basically creating use cases and rules, correlation basically, and that correlation turns out offenses, and offenses are investigated by SOC analyst. So this is a qualification and skill set. So please read out afterwards. Security engineer. Security engineer is a I can architect who should have knowledge about Linux networking strongly, and if you having product knowledge like QRadar, specific knowledge about particular product, that would be great. So that's why I mentioned highlighted at the last. Product specific certification, it's added more value in it. Okay. So these are the three designations in SIM world, guys. Um, Analyst, admin, and engineer. So if you ask me from where we can start with SOC analyst. And believe me, guys, it will not take more time to switch from one job role to another, like admin or architect. I started my career as a professor. Then I completed so many certifications. I'm just sharing my story in 1 minute. So I started learning in background Linux networking. I completed certifications in Linux networking, cybersecurity world, and then I enter in industry as a SOC admin directly. It doesn't matter. You need to follow this path: analyst, admin, architect. But I started my career as an admin, and then I switched to architect. So it depends, guys. So just build your skill set. So employee can observe your skills and he can give you the correct job role. So the next one is last one is pen tester, or I can say bug hunter. So most of the time people loves hacking. I want to hack something. Okay. So if you want to hack something, definitely I will recommend go for certifications like OSCP, offensive security. Okay. OSCP or OSWP or OSCE. So these are the certification I mentioned in certification list, but yeah, this is starting OSCP. Just concentrate on that. CH, very basic certification, don't have any value in industry. I can say don't have means just little bit value. Like CH means like just novice. Okay, so if you completed CH, just learn for you are learning more terminologies. But yeah, if you completed CH, then go for next certification like OSCP, like that, like hands-on. Then when I talk about penetration tester, so what is the job role? Job role is very simple: identify weaknesses, and we are good at it, right? To identify what is the weakness in Linux system, what is weakness in Tomcat, what is basically scanning or attacking on a particular system, and identify what are the vulnerabilities, and can I use that vulnerability to exploit to get entry in that resource. And if I got vulnerability, I can exploit that vulnerability and I can hack that resource. I can do any activity. So that is important. So sometimes people should know about what is hacking really. Okay. So if you want to learn about hacking, YouTube is there. But yeah, I will refer this one, guys. Certification I already mentioned at the bottom. OSWP, wireless penetration tester. OSCP, OSE. OSWP is a 4 hours exam. OSCP is a 24 hours exam. OSCE is a 48 hours exam. Okay. Then I not completed all, but I completed most of the courses contents because my friends are completed. So I'm having those attack patterns and how I can simulate that one. But yeah, not completed yet. But yeah, this is a good certifications if you want a good security guy. Uh, then I will recommend these two links, guys: Vulnerability Hub and Hack the Box. So I will go to this. And then we can discuss use cases. So if you go to the Hack the Box, okay. So if you go to the login, you will not get login, and you cannot see here. If you can see here, if you don't remember your password, click here. Okay. Need your account, click here, or hack your invite. So let's see, click here. Hack this page to get your invite code. So basically, they will not send you any code. You need to hack this page to get invite code. It's very simple. Just try it. Okay. If you know the inspect element, go for that and just yeah. So if you basically hack this page, and you will get invite code, and you need to put invite code and sign up. That's it. So this is starting journey if you want to learn. And at Hack the Box, you will get so many VMs. Okay, and you can work on those VMs. You can hack those VMs like that. Another resource is Vulnerable Hub. I will recommend Hack the Box first, and next one I will recommend Vulnerable Hub. Vulnerable Hub is a good for novice initial purpose. So what you need to do, you need to download these VMs like Narak. Okay, so you need to download Narak or something. Okay, so there are different VMs. Okay, Flush Blood or Chili, different names, guys. So you would need to do what? You need to click over here. You need to download this one. If you see download, after download, you need to import in VirtualBox, and then you need to hack this VM. So you can see this description and everything. So these are the two good resources if you want to start your exercise, whether you are a good hacker or not. So please check out, guys. And if you become a good ethical hacker, then you can participate in bug bounty programs. And if you identify some bugs, you can report it and you can get some good money. That is called as bounty. Okay, you can get bounty on that. So yeah, if you want to reach me out, then definitely you can reach out. Telegram, I'm not active that much, but at least you can join that one. So if I get something or if I launch something, a small kind of course or something, then you can get updates on Telegram. And if you have some questions, you can see my you can mail me at Pavaskar Mahesh. And if you want to read something, there is some Quora. On Quora, I written some articles on Kirodar, so you can read that also. So we are having 15 minutes. Go back to security use cases. Where we are, we completed brute force. Yeah. Next one is data exfiltration. So same use case, but the method is different. Initially, we learn data exfiltration using email. Next, data exfiltration use case, but the scenario is quite different. Data exfiltration using proxy. So what happened? Consider I enter in your organization and I hacked someone's laptop, and that laptop I'm using as a my launching pad, and that launching pad I consider are technical terms in books called as compromised host. So that launching pad I will use for my next attacks, like grab some sensitive information and send towards my server. So how I can identify that one? So I can identify that one using proxy. So proxy is a I'm talking about forward proxies. There are two types of proxies: reverse, forward. So I'm talking about forward. So forward proxies are nothing but monitoring the traffic from your organization to outside world. So example, Cisco Iron Port, Blue Coat, You can get some log samples on internet. Then if I got to know, okay, these are the log sources, I can look into these log sources for activities like data exfiltrate using proxy. Then I need to onboard these logs. So I onboarded logs. Then what next? Next job is correlation or cross correlation. Correlation, cross correlation. Correlation means what? I am identifying some attack patterns from a single data source. That is called as correlation. Cross correlation. I am trying to identify some attack patterns from different data sources like firewall, DNS, or DSCP. I'm correlating from different log sources. This is called as cross correlation. So what are the factors? I will check what are the bytes in, what are the bytes out. If bytes out is more than 1 GB in one session, that is abnormal because nobody can transfer such kind of data in one session. So if somebody does that, we need to investigate. So it will create offense and it will go for investigation towards SOC analyst. So SOC analyst will identify what? SOC analyst will identify what is the source IP. If I got source IP, then I will match, oh, this IP is assigned to which host name. Okay, I identify host name. Then this host name is used by Mahesh. So identify associated user name. Mahesh is a user. Next, contact Mahesh or his manager and investigate the contents in background like that, and appropriately take action. If it is something is weird, fire Mahesh or block Mahesh account. It depends on guys what you are doing. If I identify such kind of pattern, I will block the account first, and then I will start investigation. But blocking is always not good. So you need strong evidence that something is bad happening. Then you can deactivate the user account. So, but yeah, this is a playbook task. I can say this is a playbook task. You can modify playbook task according to your need. Next activity. Next activity comes under use case suspicious activity. It's called as rogue access point. What is a rogue access point? Consider everybody having your mobile, yes, and mobile having, you can enable your tethering, right? Basically, your mobile become hotspot. When mobile become hotspot, like name is some consider hotspot name is ABC. That hotspot, I need to connect. If there is open authentication, I can directly connect. And if there is a authentication, I need to provide some password. So what is a rogue access point? A rogue access point is basically a fake access point. Consider you're having your company and your company building is 10th, 10 storage building. So you are moving from one floor to another floor. Your network should not be disturbed. So we are using mechanism called as handoff or handover. We are moving from one access point to another access point without losing our internet connectivity, because we are overlapping the networks or connections. So we are moving from one access point to another access point. Fine, but when you look into the access point name, it is ABC. Then what I will do as an attacker, I will create my hotspot with open authentication as ABC initially. So people will connect me by mistake, or maybe they are in cafeteria and they want to connect. And basically I implement my device, maybe at that having good strength or signals. So your employee connected to my ABC access point. Then what I will do, if I got traffic from that device, next day I will switch from open authentication to the some algorithm. What people will do? People will connect and people will try to enter username and password, and I will cache those username passwords. So simple. So how I can identify rogue access point or fake access point. So we need to keep a track of what are the legal, original, or legitimate access point in our organization based on MAC addresses. So we can register MAC addresses, and if something is going outside of our this, our legitimate access point, those considered as a rogue access point. So to identify that, you need logs from data sources like wireless controller, because wireless controller will inform you there is some access point. This is a rogue access point, not legitimate or R access point. Next activity. So I think how much time left? Yeah, I will wrap up with this, and then we can talk a little bit about question and answer. So last, when I talk about um, suspicious activity or behavior or pattern, people are talking me or asking me how, sir, I can identify this is good behavior or this is bad behavior. I will give you example, simple example. So in Windows, there are two event IDs. The first event ID is 4723, and this is normally we do. Example, user is Ramesh. Ramesh is changing his laptop password. This is triggered event in background 4723 because Ramesh is changing his own password. So Ramesh is changing his own password in this case, which is a subject user. Ramesh is a subject user. No, Ramesh is changing whose password? His own password. So Ramesh is a subject user and Ramesh is a target user. So I think you understood the concept of subject and target. Subject is who is performing action. So subject means what? Who is performing. Okay. And target means what? On which account? On which account you are performing. That is target user. So in first case, case number one, in case one, Ramesh is changing his own password. So which event ID is triggered? In first case, 4723. Simple event ID. Okay. Then go for case number two. Consider Ramesh on vacation. And after vacation, Ramesh forgot his password because he on long vacation. He took vacation for 45 days, like me. Okay. So, and he forgot his password. But what he will do? He will request to the system administrator, guys, can you reset my password? So for that, which event ID is triggered? 4724. 4724 is an account password is reset by somebody else. In that case, subject user is Windows admin. I'm just putting name, guys. Maybe there is a sysadmin or maybe super admin. I don't know what a username is. Or maybe if he is not changes anything, then by default administrator. Okay, so I'm just giving you some idea. So system administrator change Ramesh password. So in this case, subject user is Ramesh. Sorry, subject user is super admin or Windows admin or administrator, and target user is Ramesh. Target user is Ramesh. So tell me, in both case, which is suspicious? In both case, nothing is suspicious. First case, I'm going to change my password. Okay, legitimate behavior. In second case, so I forgot my password. I blocked my account. So there is no suspicious activity. Then what kind of activity I can consider as a suspicious activity? And I can give you case number third, that is suspicious activity. So let's see. Can you see my screen? Because so in
Yes, sir.
third case, in third case, event ID will trigger as a 4724, no problem, because somebody else changing my Ramesh password, and somebody else is not super admin or Windows admin. This person is Mahesh. What Mahesh did, Mahesh in background escalated his privileges somehow, and Mahesh becomes admin. But Mahesh is not in system admin group. But somehow he managed. Maybe Mahesh is a friend of system admin, and he got good privileges. And Mahesh changed password of Ramesh, and this is called as suspicious behavior, because Ramesh not his change his password, system admin not changes his password, somebody else change his password, and this is called as bad activity. You need to define, you need to identify what is bad activity, because nobody tell you this is bad activity. I'm going to perform this kind of bad activity. No, you need to identify what kind of bad activity can happen, and then you need to write some logic. What kind of logic you can write? Logic is simple. What you can write logic? Identify event ID 4724. Okay. Then what check what is the subject user? What is the target user? If subject user is Ramesh, target user is Ramesh. Okay, no problem. Next. Sorry. We're checking 4724. So this is not applicable for us. 4724. If subject user is Windows admin or sysadmin or super admin or administrator, fine. Target user Ramesh. Okay. But if subject user is not from system admin group or whatever I mentioned, 4 usernames, Windows admin or system admin. If subject user is not from that and target user is not Mahesh, target user, if it is Mahesh, then it is legal activity for Mahesh. But Mahesh is changing password of Ramesh, then it is bad activity. So this turns into the incident, and that incident will be investigated by our SOC analyst. So SOC analyst is a challenging role, but yeah, you are learning so many things in SOC analyst role. So yeah, I think that's sufficient, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm done. Thank you so much. I'm open for question and answers. Questions? Yeah. Any questions, guys?
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, Komal, you're audible.
Thank you so much, Mahesh, sir, for this immense knowledge. Now it's time for our question and answer session. All the students having their doubts or queries, you all can put your questions in Google Meet chat box or YouTube live video comment section. So we are already having questions over here. We'll just discuss it. Till then, you can put up your all other questions. Uh, okay, so Karan has asked, are we vulnerable to third-party applications hosted on our network? Mahesh?
Okay. Okay. Are we? Can you repeat? In chat box, right? Message. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where is the question? Yeah. Are we vulnerable to third-party application hosted on our network? Yeah. Good question. So, if I understood correctly, Karan, just unmute yourself. So, are you referring third-party application, like if we install some applications like Putty or some applications like Tomcat, like that, right, Karan? Am I understood correctly?
From the web, something from the web.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So here is my answer, Karan. So, uh, if you are using, some third-party applications or any software, then we always need to check whether that software is actually not broken, and how to identify that one. The first one is, organization never encourage you to install some application from internet. That is the first, and I never install any single application on my laptop from internet. If you want to install any application, you need to request your system admin team, and system admin team will install that software. Example, you want to install Putty, you want to install Microsoft Office, you want to install just like a small software like give me example 1 minute, I will check different softwares. Yeah, like some Google Meet, like software like Microsoft TeamViewer. So if any software you want to install, any software, you need to request system admin. You cannot install any software without their permission, and if you do that and something is happen, you are responsible for that. So I think this is, I think, and in some organization you are downloading third party applications, and that is valid, but basically that organization is accepting that kind of risk. So my recommendation, if you want to download third party software, just please download from legitimate website like Apache or something, or some good resources, not from torrent. If you download from you know black market or black world, definitely you will get the software with the malicious code. And always, I will not recommend such kind of things. I think I hope you got answer, Karan.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, there are
Now,
different questions.
moving
I will.
towards the next. Yagnesh has asked, which certifications would you recommend to start with?
Okay, so certifications. If you want to start with CompTIA certifications, or if you basically identify the skill sets, identify skill set like Linux. If you want to for Linux, go for Red Hat. For networking, at least go for CCNA. For database, go for Oracle or DB2, like that. If you want to make some skill sets in cybersecurity world, go for courses on Cybery. So I think I forgot to explain that. So there is a Cybery, like a library. Okay, so like library, there is a Cybery. Okay, so Cybery, and for Cybery, you can 1 minute. I will paste link in that chat box, so you can get some good courses. Maybe some paid courses are there, but guys, nothing is free here. And if there is a free, then definitely you can grab it. But if there is a good contents, and you can pay for it, then definitely go for it. So uh, and if you start, again, certification is just to showcase what you know. But if you done certifications, my recommendation is uh, perform, go for certification, actually needed certifications. Like if you want to go for cybersecurity, CH certified ethical hacker is also good, but identify whether this certification makes some value in your resume. If it is not, then I will recommend don't go for it. So, and if you ask me, clear path, somebody asking what is clear path for cybersecurity career, uh, answer to your question is there are so many opportunities in the market in cybersecurity role. So it depends on which role you are looking for. If you are looking for cybersecurity analyst, then I will recommend you should have good logical skills, analytic skills. You need to interpret how log look like, what are the different fields in the logs, and accordingly you should go for analyst certifications. Like there is analyst certification for IBM QRadar. Then there is an analyst course, SOC analyst course available for IBM QRadar or on Cybery. You can go for it, and you can build your skill sets. So there is no not clear path. It depends on what job role you are looking for, and accordingly you can do it. But believe me, I recommended you good to have in first slide of my presentation. You can look into those skill sets and accordingly go for certifications. Okay, the next one. What type of password encryption will be the best storing password in the database? Okay, see, this is a very difficult question because when wireless field started, we are using web, okay, wireless equivalent privacy. Then we are going for WPA, private access, okay, WPA, then WPA2, WPA, PSK, WPAS. So security standards are going to change day by day. Now, in old days, we are thinking about, um, symmetric cryptography is is strong enough, or triple DES is strong enough, or triple DS is strong enough. No, algorithms are changing, or basically the definition of strong algorithms are changing day by day. So you need to understand, if I'm using this algorithm or if I'm using this encryption technique, whether how I can combine different techniques together. So my I can say my passwords should be stored in secure space. And if I'm not wrong, if you are going for password, I will recommend you two-factor authentication. So if you log in, what you know, so that your password, and if you can go for second factor authentication, that you will get some OTP on your mobile, or you will get some OTP on your email address, and that is, I can say, second factor authentication you can use for better security. So yeah, then
Yeah. How
any
can
question?
someone know? Yeah, how can someone know if his PC is getting attacked or hacked or being monitored by someone?
Okay, so for this you need to know about what kind of activities you are performing daily, and what kind of regular traffic, and how you can monitor those. Okay, so if you want to monitor your PC is not got hacked by somebody else, then my recommendation is observe your logs, identify your logs. And how you can identify your logs, just forward your logs towards one of the SIEM solution and identify the log patterns. And that is a difficult way to observe that word. But simplest way, go to your control panel and check what are the different softwares you install. And if your PC is behaving differently, if PC is um, turning your webcam directly, or maybe there is suspicious pop-ups are coming, then it indication something is malicious code installed on your laptop. So to identify that one, the simplest way, identify what are the different softwares installed on your computer, and install whether they are required by you. If not required by you, just remove it. So I can say that is one way. Second way, if you are having some software, just upgrade daily basis, not daily but at least weekly basis or monthly basis, so you are the less prone to your attacker surface. So as much as whatever you required, install that one. If you're not required, I will recommend don't install, but otherwise it will increase your attacker surface, and chances of getting your PC slow down, or malware on your laptop, it's highly you cannot and basically, if you want to protect your PC, don't open unknown mails, don't download unknown attachments, don't go to the websites those have pop-ups, or you're going to some websites, and if there are so many advertisements, and if you're clicking advertisements, then maybe you're downloading something, and that is harmful. So be aware, if you're visiting some websites, then cautious about that website is whether it's good or bad, and better which websites are good and bad. And if you're going for bad websites, then please ensure that you're not downloading something malicious. Okay,
So actually, I had one more
next.
question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, like
Raj,
sometimes
go
we don't know that the webcam is activated or like someone is seeing the webcam through like another PC or anything.
ahead.
Like mostly
Mhm,
laptops have a, like a camera light over there, but majority like
mhm.
hacking times we don't see the light activated over there. So it is a very
Okay.
high risk of possibility that someone can monitor your webcam and see your
Okay.
activity, right?
So Raj, it's very simple, Raj, for that one. So now you can see me, right? Can you see me, Raj?
Yes, yes, yes. I know the other method
Yeah.
like
So
just
see,
putting a black paper on the camera.
the not black paper, yeah, whatever protection, yeah, you can
Yes,
put that one kind of tip. But if you want to do that, or if you want to track that, if I want to, so you can do simple, Raj. What you can identify what is the event ID when I enable my webcam. Like consider, if I enable my webcam, this log is generated in log activity or log trace. So what you can do, you can monitor your logs. If I enable my webcam, this kind of log is created. So what you can do, if you want to write some kind of logic, it doesn't matter light is there or not. If such kind of camera is on or something, you can catch that event and trigger an alert on that. So what you need to do, you need to grab the logs, you need to forward that log towards IBM QRadar, or maybe OSIM. You need to write some logic. If this event ID 4725, if 4725 identify and webcam is on, okay, not by Raj, by somebody else, from remote user, you need to identify. Maybe I will give you some detailed background.
I
1 minute.
know.
1 minute. I will give you some more details. 1 minute. Yeah. So I will share my screen for this question again, just for present now again. So Raj, you can will get what I'm going to explain. So please tell me, can you see my screen, guys? Raj,
No, sir.
can you see my screen?
Not yet, sir. Now it is visible. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
No, no,
So
sir.
consider. Yeah. So Raj, see, there are different. There is a event ID called as 4625. An account failed to log on. Okay. But what is the reason? Different reasons to account. We are unable to log in or we failed login. What are the different reasons? There are different reasons. Maybe like this code. Username does not exist. Username is correct, but password is wrong. Username is currently locked out. Account is currently disabled. User, whatever, different reasons. Account expiration, expired password, whatever. So you need to understand, from the log patterns, what is the status or status code. And if you identify that code, so basically if you enable, so you need to identify, you need to learn, you need to analyze how log look like when I enable the my webcam. And if you not enable, somebody from remote, somebody enable that one, then what kind of patterns in the logs we are getting. So what you can do, you can enable your webcam, identify what kind of log is there, what kind of log patterns are there. Then you enable your webcam from another laptop, from maybe friend's laptop, connect your two laptops, enable your webcam from his laptop and check what kind of log entries we are getting. And then you can identify, okay, this is suspicious and this is enabled by Raj. So that differentiate a legal whitelist and blacklist activity. Any other questions?
For learning purpose, is it good to know how to use tools and framework like Metasploit, or should we know what actually is going on behind the scene?
Yeah. So if we are using Metasploit or any Kali, basically Kali tools. So if you are using Kali Linux tools, that's really good. And if you are looking what those tools using the different techniques in background, that also good. So it depends on what depth you want to go. If you want to learn Metasploit, fine, just stick with that. No need to go in depth, because you don't want to create those tools, but you want to learn those tools, how to perform attacks and the different patterns. So my answer is yes, you can only learn tools, no need to go in depth. But if you want to become like a penetration testers, so in pen testing, sometimes you need to write your own tools for attacking purpose, or to identify whether your defense of your organization is at right place. So in that case, you need to modify your code so that your organization cannot detect that attack. So it depends how if you want to do that, definitely yes. And if you want to become a good penetration testers, then I will recommend yes, you need to learn code behind those tools. Yes, Komal, next. Komal, you are on mute.
Yeah, does anyone have any other questions? Um, no, I guess. Okay, so yeah, we are done with the question and answer session. Now, I would like few students to volunteer and give their feedback on today's seminar. So, does anyone want to share their valuable feedback?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, Meghna.
Okay, so first and foremost, thank you so much, so for such an insightful presentation. You correctly mentioned that just to save a few minutes, we try and save the login credentials. Like I have done that too. But the slides that you showed us gave us a closer look at the current vulnerabilities in our system and, why we shouldn't be saving the sensitive information. So basically, I think that in today's world, which is driven by technology, it is really important to maintain our digital identities. And this webinar provided me with, just the right details to overcome these vulnerabilities. And, it also gave me the resources that we all would need to secure our devices. So it was really, really insightful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Meghna.
Yes. Yeah. Is there anyone else who wanna speak up?
Yes, I want to.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, hello sir. I am Rutuja, and it was an amazing webinar. It was an amazing webinar, and it was extremely informative. And it has cleared many of my ideas about cybersecurity and also about things that work in cybersecurity. And it has also cleared my doubts about how things work in a particular field. And I am thoroughly inspired by the information that you have given me. Thank you so much for today.
I'd also like to thank Mahesh sir for a very descriptive session of cybersecurity, which helped us to explore detection and protection of cyber attacks, and also for enlightening and counseling our knowledge towards SIEM. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, students. And yeah, be in touch, maybe to
Yes,
via
sir.
with mail or maybe from LinkedIn or whatever. So yeah, just keep in touch, and at least I can show you some path, and you can just follow that path, or maybe you can create your own ways, and you can run on those ways. So yeah, thank you so much for giving this
Thank you
opportunity, and
so
I
much.
hope we will, if you want some practicals or something sessions like practical hands-on something, some like demonstrations. Maybe we can plan, but yeah, I'm not sure when because I'm quite busy with my schedule nowadays. But yeah, I will not promise, but yeah, let's see how we can meet again.
Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
so
We are
much, sir.
hoping to see
Thank you
you
so
soon,
much.
sir.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Now I would like to call upon Mr. Raj Chauhan for proposing vote of thanks. Over to you, Raj.
Am I audible?
Yes, Raj, you're audible.
Good afternoon, all. On behalf of NHITM, I take this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks to those who have directly and indirectly contributed their time to this webinar on cybersecurity space and SIEM by our institute. At the outset, I would like to thank our speaker for the day, Mr. Mahesh Pavaskar sir, for conducting this informative and amazing webinar, evaluating our security baselines, protections, policies, processes, and managing them is a new thing we learned today. We also learned how SIEM offers observability over an organization's information security. We are enlightened with your knowledge, sir. We are very thankful to our head of department, Dr. Sanjay Sharma, our CSI student branch coordinator and vice principal, Professor Megha Gupta, and all faculty members of computer engineering department. We would also like to thank our management, our principal Dr. Prashant Deshmukh, for allowing us to conduct this webinar. We are also thankful to all the faculty members who have taken out time to attend this event. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all the students who have attended this webinar enthusiastically. With these warm words, we move to the end of today's webinar. Please fill the feedback form mentioned in the description. Thank you all. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Hello. Yes, sir. Mahesh, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Tell me, sir.
On behalf of college, I would like to thank you. Thank you very much, sir.